cooking. Today I'm having carrots, cheese, parsley, scallops, cream. I'm using cream, red onions. Come on, show the red onion. And this is the cream, which is alternative to milk, not dairy cream. And I'm going to cook it now, the scallops and red lentils. So let's see the red lentils over here, and oil, which is not sunflower oil. In my leftover dish where I had my lasagna, so I'm going to eat this after being stressed out today, getting angry, emotional, annoyed, my deep voice. Not my, sweet voice, comfortable voice, but my irritated voice. Annoyed with evil police on my social media. I want them to leave my social media alone. So an evil police officer came to see me. She switched off her camera on her uniform as a public inquiry. I made a complaint against this woman called Sargent Sparks in Hertfordshire, and I had to shut down my complaint against the police. And ever since then, she had gone onto the system and said I was a mad woman. And she has now ganged up with people on social media whom I have rejected and who I don't want to be my internet boyfriend. And they want to sort of arrange marriage for me, in other words, to get him to move in with me, so that it isn't love, it isn't concerned, it is in fact antisocial behaviour, unprofessional behaviour. It is demonic. So I have a very deep voice on, not a relaxed voice like, relaxed voice. Nope, I have a deep, irritated, annoyed voice. And because the Bible tells me so, that they've ganged up against me on social media with tyrants to spy on my home. And the police know it. It's a corrupt police. So they've got an actor in place as a tyrant victim, making all types of films of a look-alike of this police officer. Nearly all women in England that are brunette look like her. She's horrible. So as she switched off her camera on the uniform, she said, "Oh, I don't care that you abstained from sex, and it was only your daughter's dad. I don't care that you were sexually molested. You must have enjoyed it. You were friends with him." And so it was never considerate from my perspective. It was only from her perspective. So it's a criminal. What's it doing working as a police officer? And she did night shifts. And then she said that my internet is weaponized, and it's the same as a telephone box on the street where people have dismantled and spat in and vomited. These are strangers that have done this. Because their spit, their poo and their dirt is more important than mine. So they're vandals. They vandalise the street light, they vandalise the telephone box, and then she switched back on her camera. So a whole hour wasted of a police officer that rigged the system to say that I'm a mad woman living here, to start my oppression all over again, a new system, a new cycle. Steal my bank, spy on my home, my private and confidential information at the hospital, documents, spy on all of that, spy on my one and only child, organise crime, all because I refuse to have sex or I refuse to date any man who had invaded my privacy. And anyone who hasn't proven that they are a holy spy, that they are a bad spy. So who is the bad spy? And how these demons have swapped. I'm sick of the lot of them. They never know when to stop. And when they are exposed of doing wrong, being a false professional or corruption, they come back to get you back for revenge. So I have here 2 Kings and my Passover. Passing over evil. So whenever I sing King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon, it always brings me to the attention of tyrants, all tyrants, representing all tyrants. So forced marriage, arranged marriage, robbery and rape, police abusing their position of power, any professional abusing their position of power. So what does it say? Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, invaded Jehoiakim, his vassals of 3 years, and rebelled against him a second time. So this is, I've had so many phones stolen, so many social media stolen. So my home, on the internet, and everything that they have vandalized and violated. And it says, so it's the same thing, emotional abuse is the same thing as physical abuse. So what they perceive, what they understand, and they come across as heroes, false heroes, but in fact they're predators. Then they rebelled the second time. This time around to destroy Judah, which is bad history, 2,000 years ago or 5,000 years ago, very old 2 Kings in the old Bible. It's the same demon spirit of tyrants, entirely due to God, because God has spoken through the servants and the prophets, and God wants to destroy Judah in accordance to every word announced through the servant prophets. So who is symbolic for Judah? That's what I want to know. Is it modern day Israel, or is it you and I and anyone? And it says here entirely, totally, because God is so angry against Judah, and God has resolved to threaten them and thrust them away because of Manasseh's sins and all that he has done to destroy innocent blood. So innocent blood are obviously the saints and the prophets. Because of Manasseh's sin, all that he has done to either destroy and betray. But since I believe that all tyrants are mainly functioning in the dirty south, so they want to sound so beautiful, so innocent, and yet they're extra skinny. Okay, so I'm going to make a judgment, and God makes a judgment between the fat and the skinny. Those who are fat have been tortured the most and tormented the most, compared to those who are skinny. They are the tormentors, lean. So if you see Any skinny person, man or a woman, who sounds relaxed, watch out, because it's a worker for the devil. If you find a fat person who sometimes has a very deep voice or aggravated voice, other times the fat person has a relaxed voice, that person is probably going to be innocent, because it knows how to regulate their emotions. But these who are skinny and sound super calm, super smooth, they're the most dangerous, and super quiet, because they're actors and they provoke. They're the same as Hitler. So they have made these actors either in horror films, comedians, or any other programs, documentaries, to show off how successful they are. At the same time, they've destroyed my credibility, my responsibilities. They've destroyed my freedoms, my privacy, and I can't do anything about it. So it's a prison. They've turned my home into a prison, or a nut house, a mental health institution. On the internet, in my home, wherever I go to travel in England and United Kingdom, because the only solution that they want me to have, the innocent blood, is to leave England, because that's how much they hate migrants, people who are poor claiming state benefits, and people that are tortured for God's name's sake. So this is phenomenal. This is a poltergeist. It is the entire career of God's people in the history of Jehoiakim, in the books of Annals and the kings of Judah. And when he had died, that book was revealed, Jehoiakim. But it doesn't say died, it says he went to sleep, because his spirit lives on. The king of Egypt did not leave the country of where King Babylon was, because Babylon area had conquered many large areas, all the way to River Euphrates. So King of Egypt was an ally to Babylon. Jehoiachin, this is Chin, was 8 years old when he came to throne. His mother, Nehushta, the daughter of Elnathan of Jerusalem. He was doing what was not right, and was in the process of destroying Jerusalem, which is hell on earth here. So it goes to show, when a holy leader dies, the bad leaders sprout out. Officials, civil servants, nobles, all have surrendered to the bad leader, who is Babylon, and this bad leader had taken them all prisoners, and then carried off all the treasures of God's people and temples of holy places and holy relics, equipment, books, all types of ornaments from the sanctuary of God, Yah. And that was foretold that King Babylon was going to do, and taken Jerusalem into being an exile. Here we go again. So I've had 20 years of oppression from one slave master, tyrant. Now I'm getting another one, whom I didn't want to have sex with, a misogynist, evil man. Now I have another one who is boasting that the woman that he is now protecting are holding a penis or a gun. And he's the king of the castle, and all single women who don't want to hold his dick are a dirty rascal. Wow, what an evil dog you are. Don't want to hold your dick. And so I'm trying to find, it's urgent. Hold my dick. Hold it. Because if you don't, I'll shoot you. Talk about mismanagement. A thorn to the rose. So this is how perverted they are, in fact, because they did do sexual gods and goddesses. Oh, they replaced God's sanctuary and altars with blasphemy and all types of satanic worship and rituals as a giant devil. And so many are afraid of that particular leader or slave master because he's doing the wrong thing. If he did the right thing, I may want to hold his dick. Since he's doing the wrong thing, I don't want to hold his dick. As far as I know, he's a son of a bitch. Witch. Well, I'm a daughter of a witch bitch. No, thank you, don't match. So I have... This is crazy. Go back to, it's hilarious, it really is. That's how... I'm not disgusted with my own poo and pee and vomit, so that means I'm healthy. Mental assessment. But they are disgusted of their own selves, and they are their own worst enemy. So mental health assessment, they're the mad ones. Because they're spying on me. Go and look in the mirror, you evil monster. I feel like I have a home arrest again. Because I'm not a homeowner or a leaseholder. So they think they have an automatic right to spy on all the people's bank accounts and homes in the loft as rats. Because I'm unemployed and claiming eligible benefits. Cannot get away from these nutters. Good for nothing, fit for nothing retards. How did they get into power? Sex? A woman caught holding his dick? So the siege of Jerusalem, sack of Jerusalem, a deportation of Jerusalem, a new governor in Judah, and King Jehoiachin, the 9-year-old, was pardoned. Oh, wow! So that's the end of 2 Kings. Talk about fast forward button. So this is the good news, and that's what happened in them days. But since this was written 5,000 years ago, it could mean the opposite of what it says in the Bible, because the demon spirits will swap. They have to have distinction as being powerful by the evil force, popular by the evil force, and just as God's people do the opposite of that. So God's commandments, commanders and chiefs have to do the opposite of that. So like you have each container, if it's for a bottle of spirit, champagne or wine or alcoholic drinks, each is labelled accordingly. But the problem with demons, that those that work for the devil will give you a wrong label, put you in the wrong container and mess up your life and turn your life upside down. Huff and puff and blow your home down as a children's animated original film programming of the 3 Little Pigs and the Wolf. Let me in, or I'll huff and puff and blow your house down. So that's exactly from the big bird eye view picture what it's telling me here in the first book and second book of Kings. is it the Thrones, Game of Thrones? Yeah, it's very interesting. And so I look forward for God's word to be fulfilled exactly. However, the demons are looking to do it the opposite. Because they don't want to be the good guys. They actually are glorified as the bad guys, alright? So if they come across as the good guys in the public, they are lying, and they're lying. They're not walking on the path of righteousness because they're double dealing. And these leaders that work for the devil are double dealing, cannot be trusted. Yuck. So they're disgusting because they're their own enemies, the worst type. Even if it is a judge or a civil servant or a professional, it's still the worst type because they actually are above the law. They are a secret society. But they'll deny it. They'll deny it. So my public inquiry is to what she has done. I don't know, this police officer. My complaint had to be closed because they couldn't help me because I complained against them. And she actually added insult to injury and said your weaponized broadband is the same, she said, quote, as a vandalized, you should go out and use your public phone box. That's what she said. And it's extremely dangerous because I think she must be out of her mind working night shifts, totally discriminating against my disability. I would not use a phone box, public phone box, even in the case of an emergency, because people urinate in there, bad people vomit in there, sneeze and put their bogies in there, fart in there. I would not use it. So she's horrible. But she said that to me and switched off her body camera so that it wasn't recorded. A bad guy. Actually, everything that she has done must be done to her. So I pray against this evil woman who thinks she's gotten away with it. In fact, she has gotten away with it. She's already touched my new phone number and my new device, my phone device, and my new WhatsApp. Am I arrested? Have I done something wrong? So I plan to keep this video, one and only video, on my social media, on all 3 social media platforms. Yeah, because for a long time, until New Year 2024. Because I want to somehow find a way to get rid of this woman. She's influenced all police in my local area, that is Hertfordshire. As a bad influence, she's made false reports about me to misrepresent me. She should lose her job and be fired. PC Sargent Sparks. This could be like a public inquiry because I cannot scrutinize her. I don't have the equipment, I don't have the resources, neither do I have the energy or the strength to do it. So I do need some type of a watchdog to investigate her, because to me, it's like saying, that they want to get their revenge because I have recorded them on my dictaphone secretly. And Joe Rogan knows about this. from my Facebook because they've attacked me for dishonest gain. And so the blood is now the question in wait. They want revenge. And that's why they're spying on me. So looking at a very close inspection according to God's holy word about Nazis or any tyrants, in Proverbs chapter 1, verse 20 to 33. What's the opposite of tyrants? Asking the audience. Or is it exactly the same as a tyrant? So the devil is copying a wisdom. Evil is copying evil, unholiness. Perversity is copying holiness, purity. It says, she's allowed in the street. She raises her voice in public squares and delivers the message in the city gates. Simple people for simple way. How long are the mockers, those who add insult to injury? Will go hating knowledge? How long will they not pay attention to what is right? Because they rejected and refused wisdom, and rejected and refused warning. In my part, I will laugh at their distress and jeer at them when terror falls on them. So we say, do not laugh at anybody's misfortune, but Mother God, to all the orphans and outcasts, she, who is God, would laugh at them. So when I laugh in my private space, I'm not laughing at anybody. And yet the evil tyrant that's spying on me says I am laughing at the tyrant. What? So this is why it's so bad. I'm not allowed to laugh in my own home because they demonize it and accuse me of being a goddess that I am not. I'm not a god. I don't laugh at someone's misfortune. But she can, because she's that pure. And God can. God can kill someone without being called a murderer. God could laugh at an enemy without being called uncivilized. God can do things that people will say, oh, that's evil, God is evil. God is not evil. They hate knowledge. They have chosen not to fear God, rather fear man, and have spurned, in other words, shut down all my warnings for their own schemes that they will choke themselves on. That is funny. I can imagine my enemy choking. That is funny. That makes me a sadist though, does it? Oh well, I don't care. If God laughs at them, I'll laugh at them too. No, I'm not God, so God help me and forgive me for laughing. I just can't stand it. God have mercy. I can't stop laughing. A choking enemy. Whoever listens to me will live securely and live forever. Will have a quiet. Be quiet and know how to be quiet, because we do not make misfortune or bad luck. Exactly. So God laughs at misfortune, somebody else's misfortune, because they have listened to the devil and devil's rules. So they deserve to be laughed at. So we must understand uprightness and what is fair dealing. And it doesn't say equality, it says I don't know what this word is, but it doesn't mean equality. Being God and honest, guarding against evil. Prudence, a guardian, being against anything that's deceitful. And then we will, according to wisdom, Mama God, be quiet. For we have not created bad luck. We're not an omen demon. So an omen demon is someone who makes bad luck. Or a saint that is saying to the bully, take it back, your death threats back onto you. Your delight in deceitfulness, take it back. So the pimp and the whore, I'm a police officer, pimp whore. I'm a police officer, pimp whore. I hold a dick in my hand or a gun in my hand every day and every night. To me, it is the path of a grave. Persisting in the path of the grave will not make you any younger. Oh, I'm going to start laughing again. No, it won't make you younger. It is those who fear God and do not want to forget God that makes you younger. Persisting in the path of uprightness, hating evil, being a guardian for the truth, for prudence, is what leads to happiness and delight to your soul. Fair dealing, understanding, being the shield of a sound mind. But those bad, corrupt police officers that target innocent people's homes in their home are wicked. They will be cut off from the land. For God's faith, because they have lost faith in God, they will be rooted out. Since they want me to lose my home. So they've attacked my daughter, they've separated my daughter, they've done child abuse and blamed me for child abuse, my first fruits. But God says, do not worry about the womb, the fruits of your womb. It is the fruits of prudence that will produce you a new wine in the spirit of wisdom, where you are generous, for God will turn back on evil and give you the relief to your bones. So do not scorn correction, for God will reprove those God loves in discipline. And I remember God also rebuking those that have said, be calm, cool and collected in a crisis. We have to correct a crisis. However, you cannot be cool, calm and collected in a crisis. Come again. So they plot harm against their neighbour on groundless quarrels. Those who have done you no harm, you go and hold yourself close to watch everything that she does in every aspect. And this is what they're doing. And your mouth is full of misleading untruth, and your work and your lips deceive, and your feet will be quick to misdeeds. Keep your feet and your foot clear of doing evil, your left and right. Against adultery. So they're scoundrels. They're horrible and lazy, accusing me of their guilt and shame and their inadequacies, and their stupid, empty speculations, and their bullying and oppressing me for 20 years plus. I can't get away with it from them. But God says, if you hope in God, the wicked will perish, and their hopes in riches will come to nothing. Hallelujah! Exactly, so once they run out of their stupid weapons and their stupid money in their stupid banks, and they come to death doors, what will they have? Nothing. Says the Turk. I closed my video saying that they're the worst hypocrites. And I'm going to keep this video on until the new year, 2025. And God willing, if I'm going to be staying alive, if I'm going to survive this assault, continuous attacks. So only this video is going to be as a public inquiry in all 3 channels, no other videos. And then I'll start downloading on the 1st of every month a new video, but only 1 video, which is fair use. I'm Maya Maria, and my new name is Mima. The date, 24th of July, 2024.